I bleed silver and black, and I wear it with pride. Hold my shield to the sky. I'm a raider for life. 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 I'm a raider for life.
Touchdown, Raiders!
What's going on, Raider Nation? It's your boy Mikey Raider, and I had to make you an emergency video. I'm not able to go live. My computer is acting up. Hopefully it'll be fixed by the next day or two. But I needed to come and make you guys a video, and I needed to talk. And I know you guys are going to read the title of this video, and a lot of you are automatically going to be triggered and upset and think I'm making a video or another video that's destructive towards the Raiders or the players in a negative fashion. And it's clickbaity, and it gets the job done, and it helps me get views, and it helps people find my channel again. But I am going to talk about this situation, and it may be happening. I am an overthinker. For those of you that are just finding me, I am an overthinker. My brain is overactive. I have a lot of theories, but a lot of the times they manifest themselves into reality. I don't like my hair. But that being said, I'm a huge Raider fan. I'm not a fan of the organization lately. I'm not a fan of the head coaches lately. I think they disrespected the Raider fans and basically the legacy and some of the players as of late, and it doesn't sit well with me. For those of you that everything is positive, they're bringing in all Patriots. It's becoming the Patriot way, and we're going to start finally building a championship, and you guys are excited and you love all the moves. Congratulations. I am not on that same path. I am on a veteran path of negativity toward everything that they've been doing for the past 20 years. But I still love the team. Go figure. It's like Eddie Murphy and Norbit. Oh, black people no like Asians, but they like Chinese food. Go figure. I don't know. It's one of those jokes that always sticks in my mind. It's so funny. Oh, you're going to be an ugly baby. From the movie Norbit. Hilarious. All right, let's get into this. Is Davante Adams becoming a diva wide receiver? I'm just going to throw it off the bat and tell you, yes, he is. But not in a bad way. He's becoming a strong individual, well-spoken, aggressive diva. Doesn't mean he wants the ball all the time. He's not doing it for money. He's finally living up to who he wants to be and who he is and what he sees from the organization, and he's speaking up for himself. But he is doing some of this in a hypocritical fashion the last couple of days. So first off, I'm going to put in the description a link to WIFIWILLE's video that he just made on Davante Adams. It gives a good timeline of these events, and we're going to go through that in this video. But if you'd like to see it all, the entire timeline and a lot of the quotes that Davante has said publicly and everything that's going on per this diva story, go check out that video. I respect his work. Although I disagree with WIFIWILLE kind of like sticking up for Josh McDaniels in that piece. I'll never do that. But check it out. Check out the WIFIWILLE video before you go on with this video. But so here goes. Davante Adams is, ever since he came to the Raiders, he's changed. Okay? From my perspective, I followed him with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers for many years. And he, from my knowledge, wasn't a very media-savvy wide receiver. a diva-esque wide receiver that wants headlines. He avoided them, I believe. Aaron Rodgers was the player that took all the headlines back then. Aaron Rodgers was the player that spoke his mind, went against the grain, pissed a lot of people off, didn't respect the media, and just did whatever he wanted to do. And then every year, the coaches and the owners and the team are like, are you going to be our quarterback? Do you want to be here? And there was no communication, and it ended up in a trade, in turmoil. That's the Aaron Rodgers situation. Now, Davante Adams came to the Raiders and left the Packers, one, for the reason because he doesn't know how long Aaron Rodgers is going to be there because he's always up in the air. And then also the Packers started mistreating Aaron Rodgers or not communicating properly, getting wide receivers, talking to Aaron Rodgers in the offseason, the other players about, drafting a quarterback, a coach. There was a lot of miscommunication on all fronts. And Davante saw that, saw what Aaron Rodgers was doing, and then had an opportunity to play for his childhood team, his favorite team, and to play with his best friend, and to make a lot of money, and to be around with his family. So Davante Adams came to the Raiders with all of that, and with us having a new coach in Josh McDaniels, who, for the honest truth, and I hope you guys believe this, was selling Derek Carr, that Derek Carr would have freedom in the offense. They were going to work together and build a system. He also told that to Davante Adams. And Josh McDaniels and the team sold Derek Carr and Davante to come together. And they made it work. But was it all built on lies and deceit? I would say a lot of it, yes. And that's what's happening with Davante Adams now. I'm going through the timeline from my perspective. So Davante Adams comes to the Raiders. He's excited. Didn't say anything bad in the press. Josh McDaniels, publicly, everything's good. Then training camp starts. Okay? Then Darren Waller has some issues. Speaking up, missing camp because of an injury. Blah, 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 blah. Derek Carr, some frustrations. They don't even start the offense in training camp. In preseason. They don't even play the offense to come together, to gel together under McDaniel's system. Like they didn't need training in his system. But they didn't even play Carr or anybody till week 1. All right? Then we started playing finally all together as a team. Then Derek Carr struggled because Josh McDaniels was not communicating, building the offense around him. Davante Adams was being throwing the ball, 30 times in a game across the middle. He got hit a couple hard times in that first game, had like 140 yards, blah, 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 blah. But now the team, Davante Adams and Derek Carr, are starting to understand the playbook and learning. And Davante Adams is the man. And he likes being the man. And he started learning that, hey, I can win anywhere, on any scheme, in any system, wherever I'm at. And that's what he recently spoke about to The Ringer, the article that we talked about in another video, and you saw in the WIFIWILLE video, where he said that he could be the man without Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't need a quarterback. And that's fantastic. I agree. I believe it. I love it. I respect it. And it is the truth. He is the man. And he knows that now. But like I said, during the season, let's go through the timeline of why he's truly becoming a strong-willed diva wide receiver with trouble ahead. Okay? There's going to be trouble ahead. And I'm going to go into these theories why. So they started playing the games together. He became the man. Derek Carr faltered. Josh McDaniels and him started having fights here and there. Josh McDaniels started making play calls to run the ball at the end of the game instead of pass it. They didn't throw the ball, whether it was Derek Carr or Josh McDaniels making the play call. Davante Adams didn't get the ball at key moments in the game to win the game. The defense came on. You know what happened. We started losing. Okay? Then Davante Adams, in a frustration game, pushed that reporter that walked in front of him, right or wrong, he pushed him, and that created a controversy. Davante Adams started getting mad and upset after the 4th, 5th, 6th game of the season, just like we were all witnessing with Derek Carr. So now let's be honest. Davante Adams is frustrated, and you guys can say it's because of Carr. That's fine. It's also because of McDaniels, because the way he's treating Derek Carr, his friend. So Derek Carr's frustrated. They're losing. They're having mistakes. Davante Adams is hitting reporters, getting an arrest warrant or getting charged to go to court to pay off the money. They're all frustrated, okay? Then we're losing. Darren Waller's not even back. Now Josh McDaniel is in the media saying all these things. And this is the moment that we were all starting to hate on McDaniels, and a lot of people were souring on Carr. Okay? So then every week something would happen, whether it be a Josh Jacobs press conference, we'd lose the game. Everybody would think that they were talking about Derek Carr. People would think they're talking about Darren Waller. They're frustrated with the play calls, the this, the that, the quarterbacking, whatever it is that you think about. It all stems from coaching and the general managers and their communication with the players. So whether Derek Carr is struggling and went rogue and made his own play calls at the end of the game and lost the game, that's because he's not on the same page with Josh McDaniels. But again, Josh McDaniels sold Derek Carr and Davante Adams on being on the same page and building an offense around them to reunite them, to become together, to become the new Raiders. Blah, 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 blah. Now, Josh McDaniels is going back on his word. Hence, Derek Carr's fighting with him on the sidelines. Davante Adams is getting play calls that he probably doesn't want to run, where he's getting double and triple teamed. And Josh McDaniels is not creating plays for other players to help Davante or whatever the case may be. Now we're losing games and we're in the press conference. Josh Jacobs is blaming people. Then Derek Carr is now crying because he said if there was people in that room that felt the way I did about the franchise. Davante Adams and Derek are good friends. Now he's watching Derek Carr cry. He's watching all the stuff that Josh Jacobs is saying because they put Josh Jacobs in even after he got injured and broke his thumb. And you guys know what's happening. It all starts with the head coach, Josh McDaniels. It does. Whether each individual did something wrong to make the other person mad, I'm sure they did. It's not all Derek Carr. It's not all Josh McDaniels, but a lot of it is. If you're the leader and the coach of a team, you better get that team on the same page. Okay? It's not Derek Carr's job to do that. Derek Carr tried to, but it's not his job. It's the head coach, the motivator of men. So we all know what happened, the frustrations. Davante Adams spoke in the media, stopped wearing Raider hats. Then again, now we're all questioning, is Davante going to come back now that Derek Carr's gone? Is Davante going to come back? Is he going to try to force a trade? Well, came out in the media, Davante said, me and Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler, they said that they're going to give me a hand in picking the quarterback or being a part of the offense. Again, more lies from Josh McDaniels in them. Okay? So all of this happened. They went through the draft. Then they didn't move up to get a quarterback, a young rookie quarterback. They signed Jimmy G. Okay? They signed Jimmy G before the draft. Then Davante Adams gets questioned about it, so he starts yelling at the media. Stop calling me. If you want to talk about Jimmy G, stop calling me. You guys, if I haven't talked to you in 3 days or three weeks, don't even ask me what I think about Jimmy G going to the Raiders. So he's yelling at the media for asking him what he thinks about the Raiders signing Jimmy G. Well, why is the media calling and going to Davante Adams? Again, because previously he spoke and he said, and Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler said, that they're going to give Davante Adams a voice in their offensive decisions moving forward. They all agreed. That's why the media is contacting you, Davante. It's because apparently you're one of the people that is going to be told about the offensive quarterback situation moving forward, so you can be a part of the team. But clearly, by you yelling at the media and saying, don't contact me, you're mad. We didn't know why. Then you put out some songs on the radio that said, like, I'm tired of this effing stuff. You know, they don't even know me. That's what you started putting stuff in media. Then you said, I'm not even mad at Jimmy. Let's get this bag. You didn't say anything about, I'm proud to play with Jimmy. Let's get some victories. Let's go to the Super Bowl. You said, Jimmy, let's get this bag with a fist bump emoji. So, of course you're not mad at Jimmy G. But then the other day you spoke out to the Ringer, or about a week ago. You put the reporter in your house on the Ringer. You put the reporter in your house. Then you told the reporter, you know, I don't need a quarterback to be an all-pro. I'm proud of that. They brought me here to play with Derek and to build this thing. And we don't see eye to eye. Why don't you see eye to eye? Because they're going against their word, Davante. They're showing you one thing publicly and telling you one thing, you know, privately, and then they're doing all the opposites. And you're witnessing all of this. But you cannot get out of your contract. You're kind of boggled down by all of this. I don't even think you want to leave. You just want to try to make it right. But now you're fed up. And you admitted publicly that you guys don't see eye to eye. And you even wrote in there that, like, you don't agree with what they're building and the choices they're making in that article, in that Ringer interview. Okay? Those were all your 100% word at the reporter at your house. Now, you did another interview with Brandon Marshall on, I forgot the name of his podcast, but he has a podcast. You talked a lot about this stuff as well. And you got an attitude now, Davante. Not in a bad way, but you're speaking up for yourself. And I'm proud of that. I enjoy that. We're starting to find out the truth of what you were feeling during the season. But then we had OTAs. Okay, then Josh McDaniels spoke. And then here's where the cat comes out of the bag. Jimmy Garoppolo, remember when he had his press conference when he was going to sign with the Raiders? He showed up, and his press conference was scheduled for 1 o'clock. Then all of a sudden they had a delay, and people are like, what's going on? He's in the building. We have videos of him online. We're going to delay the press conference till tomorrow. Then people were clamoring that he failed a physical. Then reporters were saying, no, that's not the reason. That's not the reason. It's because of a contract issue. And then it came out, oh, it was a contract issue. Now we're finding out that he did fail the physical, that the athletic department, the doctors for the Raiders, found something wrong with his leg, and he needed surgery. And they found out that day. So that means Jimmy Garoppolo hid a bunch of information from the Raiders and the doctors and from Josh McDaniels, or Josh McDaniels didn't even want to deal with it, and he just wanted to bring Jimmy Garoppolo in and sign him no matter his foot, if it's healing, if he needs surgery or not. We'll deal with it later. Let's get a quarterback on the Raiders roster, and we'll deal with it later. So he shows up, they give him a physical, they check his body, they do x-rays, and then the Raiders doctors go, Josh McDaniels, come here for a second. It's pretty bad. He got injured in December. We're now in early April, and he needs surgery. 5 months after his injury, he needs surgery. Okay. So then the Raiders are like, oh, should we sign him? Should we not sign him? You know, if he signs it, it's not in the contract where if he's injured, he has to get surgery. He wants guaranteed money. So then they were scrambling. So they told the press conference, hey, let's delay it another day so all the agents, Jimmy Garoppolo, Josh McDaniels, can agree. Man, you need surgery. We still want you to be our quarterback, but we got to put something in the contract for the surgery or for the injury, or take out some guarantees, or give you guarantees, or give you a little bit more guaranteed money. Whatever it is they came up to agreement with, they did. So then he had the press conference. He's proud to be a Raider, blah, blah, blah. Then we haven't heard anything about Jimmy Garoppolo and his foot since then. Now that OTA started, Josh McDaniels finally had to do a press conference and talk to everybody about the situation, because now the media saw that our new quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, is no longer at OTAs. Why is he not even throwing the ball? We know he had a foot injury. Is he not healed? What's going on? Now the truth came out. Josh McDaniels got upset in the press conference, and he spoke about it, and then the truth was revealed. Jimmy Garoppolo had a serious leg injury still when they signed him, and he needs surgery. Now, did he get the surgery? I don't know. That hasn't been reported. Did he get it in April after he signed? Is he about to get it? I don't know. All I know is our quarterback might not even be on the field until training camp, as Josh McDaniels said. Then on top of that, this injury was so bad that the Raiders department said he needed surgery, and they waited till April to get that information? How long does it take to heal from whatever this truthful injury is from December? A year? Remember, leg injuries used to take a year before they can even run on the field. Nowadays, for the big leg injuries or foot injuries, it's like 7 months. And that might be the time frame for Jimmy Garoppolo. But will he be 100%? Will he be back on his feet like he was? I don't think so. So we don't have a quarterback, but we do. We have our rookie, Aiden O'Connell. And he's got a big opportunity to possibly be the starter day one because of this Jimmy Garoppolo nonsense and our coaches and our staff not making the correct decisions. So that brings me back to Davante Adams. Davante Adams found out all this information, knew all this information as well. That's why he was being frustrated in the media, saying we don't see eye to eye. They're making decisions that I don't understand. They're making decisions that they think is best for this organization, and we don't see eye to eye. Blah, 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 so on and so forth. Davante is frustrated because everything they sold him on is not happening. Then they go out and sign a damn injured quarterback that might not even start the beginning of the season, let alone he might not be in training camp. He's definitely not available for OTAs. How the heck is Davante Adams, as the best player on this team and the leader of this team, to go from Derek Carr, who they have a chemistry with, to Jimmy G, who he's never played with? He's not even going to be able to practice with him until maybe training camp or mid-training camp to build the chemistry. Then Jimmy Garoppolo is also going to be in a new system. Jimmy Garoppolo, yes, he used to be with Josh McDaniels, but that was 7 years ago. Jimmy Garoppolo is used to the Kyle Shanahan system. They might be similar. I do not know that. But the point is, Jimmy Garoppolo is not getting any practice, not building chemistry with Davante Adams. He's not learning the system early with Davante. And Josh McDaniels will not let players make play calls or go against his system. And Davante Adams wants to be a part of it all. So he is witnessing all of this happening. And he's like, what am I going to do? Does he want to force a trade? Does he want to play the team with an injured Jimmy Garoppolo and hope for the best? Does he want to win a championship? Or does he just want to get the money? Maybe he's in the situation, and then he spoke in the press conference where he became a hypocrite. I'm talking about Davante Adams. Davante Adams in the press conference was asked about all the stuff he said in the article about him and the organization not seeing eye to eye, that they're putting him the Raiders in places that he would disagree with, with the way they're building the team. Now, Davante Adams comes out publicly and says, all you media reporters, if you guys want to play Monopoly because you're bored, go do that stuff. He goes, me and Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler, we're all good. We're all good. We're all good. We're all good. That's what he said in the OTA's press conference. But he said it in a maddening way. He has to say they're all good publicly. He has to. And even, Josh McDaniels said, oh, we have meetings. We're communicating. He has a hand in the offense. They said that again. They said that again, that he has a hand in the offense and what they're building. Yes, he has a hand in it because he's a player in it. He doesn't have a hand in making the play calls. He cannot. You guys are the Patriots. You have a closed system. When players come to you, you guys shoot them down. It's the Patriot system. Publicly, you say, yeah, we work with everybody. But privately, you don't. But Davante Adams, he went against everything he said in the Ringer article. He was like, no, everything's good. Everything's good. I'm tired. And he blamed it all on the media. The media, you guys are taking my words out of context. No, we're not. You're smart, Davante. You're smart enough to know what you're saying. You're smart enough to bring a reporter to your house and say those things. And you're saying the truth. Again, but when the truth comes out and we all start realizing the truth, that you're upset, you're frustrated, you walked it back a little bit. And then you blamed the media. Come on, Davante, stop it. Or do you have a diabolical plan, Davante, where you're really frustrated and you're talking to Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr and all of their stuff that they dealt with Josh McDaniels or whatever before is coming out. All the lies are being revealed. And maybe you talk to Aaron Rodgers, you talk to Derek Carr, and they're telling you things. And you're witnessing it all firsthand. Like Derek Carr might have said, oh, they lied to me or they did this to me last year. And then you were like, I don't really know if that's really what Josh McDaniels did to you, Derek. Then now they did it to Davante, or they did it to Darren Waller, or they did it to whoever else, Josh Jacobs. And now Davante is putting all of those negative moments and lies into his persona. And now he's like, fuck Josh McDaniels, fuck Dave Ziegler. I'm going to be like Aaron Rodgers. I'm just going to do me. I'm going to speak my effing mind when I want to. I'm going to say what's on my mind. And then when I get in front of the media or the press reporters, I'm going to pretend everything's all good. I'm still going to get my bag. I'm still going to try to make this team win. But I'm going to, I'm going to do what I want when I'm away from the field. But then when I'm on the field, yeah, I'll say and do all the right things. And I'll put up with all their bullshit while I'm on the field. I think that's what he's doing. Also, in a diabolical way, if he's wanting to be traded, this is a way for him to become a publicly spoken diva wide receiver. Aaron Rodgers spoke out. A lot of players spoke out, did a lot of things in the offseason where teams got frustrated. Coaches and teams got frustrated, even though they were on big contracts. There are situations, for some reason I can't think of any, but I'm sure there were. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I'm sure there's many situations where a running back, wide receiver, they start doing and talking publicly. And in a weird way, it gets the coaches and the owners and everybody, the general managers, so frustrated that they see it, the only option is to trade that player for little to no value. It's happened. It's happened. Maybe Davante Adams came to the decision where I'm going to play for this team because I have to, but I'm going to play and do everything the way I want to. And if they get mad because I'm proving their lies and their bullshit and they want to trade me, F it. It's like the Antonio Brown situation. I'm not saying this is as bad. I'm not going there. I'm just saying Antonio Brown worked out a way for him to get to another team. He lost money because he's a dumbass, but he worked his way off of the team. If Davante Adams was trying to do that, he's starting it the right way this offseason with all these Ringer articles, the controversy, now with his press conference. So he's becoming a diva. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I love what he's doing. I love Davante. Don't get me wrong. I love Davante. But he can't go against the coaches and everything because he doesn't have that much power. Derek Carr didn't even have the power after being on the team for 8 years. So Josh McDaniels is the golden child. Dave Ziegler is the golden owner. And I mean the golden GM. And Davante Adams is being lied to. They're making him do things in a system that he doesn't agree with. And he has to be the good soldier and just play football. But publicly, they're kissing his ass. They're saying all the things. They're trying to please him. But Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler are not pleasers. They're assholes. So now Davante Adams, instead of being a pleaser, which he probably was in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers and that turmoil, then he came to the Raiders to be a pleaser with Derek Carr and to try to build a winning team. Well, now, after seeing what he's seeing, he's become an asshole. And I believe it's happening in front of our eyes right now. And I don't mean an asshole in a bad way. I mean an asshole that's like me. You guys get mad at me for being an asshole and talking bad about, Josh McDaniels or the Raiders because I'm mad and frustrated. That's what Davante's doing. He's becoming an asshole, even though he's dedicated to the Raiders. He's becoming an asshole at the power. And that's what you got to do. So, I ask you guys the question, is Davante Adams becoming a diva wide receiver? Doesn't mean in a bad way. Sometimes you need to be a diva to get paid, to create a career, to get publicity, because everybody else is trying to hold you down. And I think that's what Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler have been proving they're doing to Davante Adams at this later stage in his career. They're holding him down. They're lying to him. They're getting rid of everybody that he wants to play with and work with and build a future with. And now he's speaking out and he's speaking his truth, and it's pissing people off. Let me know if you think he's becoming a diva wide receiver. I appreciate you. I love y'all. Thanks for chiming in. And another way you can support me, the creator of this content, is checking out my merchandise store with the links below. We got t-shirts for sale. Anything that I got available, I'm going to get it to you. Like Donkey Lips t-shirts. You love Donkey Lips. They come in a variety of colors. Why don't you pick yourself up one? Hey, become a camper, camp on Awana. Pick up a personalized autographed photo sent to you. I also have cameos available that also come with a personalized autograph photo, shout out, sent to you from Cameo. And right now, limited Zeke the Plumber Plushie Nightmare t-shirts. That's right. Everything's limited. Everything's on sale. Support your boy, Michael Ray Haybauer. Links down below.